Facebook so somebody can watch it later. But then don't allow them to watch it later if they know they can come here live and have an amazing experience with today's Ignite 2024 meeting. Today, Ignite 2025 is going to be an awesome experience for each and every person who is plugged in. I can tell you this for sure. There is nothing amazing like having a lead, like knowing what you're going to do in the next coming year. There's nothing so amazing like having a direction of where you want to be, of where you want to go, of whatever you want to do in the next coming year, and you have somebody who is leading you through that way. There is nothing so amazing like entering an year where you're ready with momentum, where you're ready to get started, and where you're ready to do everything. So I want you to do this for me. If I'm clear, if you can see me clearly, I want you to go in the chat box and type number 1. Type number 1. Go to the chat box, type number 1. If you can hear me and you can see me, I can see you guys can hear me. So I want us to do something because some people out there think that this is still on the festives, but 2025 has already begun. We are not on the festives anymore. It's a new week, and this new week is already a new year. So it's not time to sleep. It's not time to do anything that's not supposed to be done. It's time to ignite 2025. So go in the chat box and tell me, ignite 2025. Go put ignite 2025. And I want you, okay. I want you to go in the chat box and type ignite 2025 and put a lot of fire emojis. Put a lot of fire emojis. Put a lot of fire emojis on that Ignite 2025 so we can put an ignition to this coming year. Put an ignition to this coming year. Okay, I can see all of you are ready. I can see more than 300 people already plugged in, but we can still do more. We know there are other people who are out there. We know they can do better. I want you to ignite your year. I want you to ignite to your 2025 because today is going to be that day. So you'll allow me first before we actually begin. I'm having my mastermind leaders in the room. If they're here, I want them to probably raise their hand so I can give them a co-host, privileges so they can help me run the meeting or something. But I can see our Vice President, Madam Mercy, is already plugged in. So I'm going to give her the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes before we welcome the speaker of the day. The first 5 minutes, I want her to say something before the year begins. I want her to put some fire into you guys before our main speaker actually comes in. So, Mentor Mercy, from wherever you are, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you get me right? Okay. Perfect, perfect. I can see all the fire emojis in the chat box. I can see the ignitions in the chat box. I can see that you guys are ready. So I want you to know that you need to have a notebook and a pen because wherever you're going to learn today is going to be an awesome session. I can guarantee you something 100%, that if you stay till the end, you're going to get full understanding of how 2025 is going to turn out for you. So I want you to get ready. I want you to be seated in a very, very comfortable place, in a very quiet place, because today, your year is going to be determined. How 2025 is going to turn out is going to be determined by this meeting here right now, by the ignition that you're going to have here right now. So, you will get ready, guys. Share the meeting with everyone out there. Share the ignition that is already in the chat box with everyone out there. Let them know that we are doing this. Let them know that this meeting is going on. Let them know that Bonan Vivon is about to take over the entire of Africa, West Africa, North Africa, East Africa, Middle East, is about to take over every part of this world with the 2025 that is coming up for us. It's going to be about infinity 2025. It's going to be limitless. We are going to go into this year with no any kind of limitation. And we are going to do whatever we have been called to do. We are going to show that people out there, we have a better way. We're going to put millions into people's pockets. We are going to make everybody, whoever wants to become rich, they're going to become rich this next coming year. This coming year, I can tell you something for sure. We have a lot that is in store. And I want you to promise yourself that same thing. So the question is, are you ready? Are you here? Are you with us? Are you igniting 2025 with us? Are you doing it together with us? Are we holding us together with us? Are you together with us? Are you ready? Because on my side, I can tell you something. I'm super, super, super excited. I am super, super, super excited for this coming year.
Only one. But for most things, it's not a big deal. For example, watching a video. But if you want to do some cool things,
disappear from social media and do this instead. Be richer than your friends, mastering AI tools.
Guys, we're about to begin now, and I'm hoping that all of you have enough, you have had enough time to get ready. I'm hoping that you have had enough time to prepare yourself for this coming ignition of 2025. I'm hoping that you are super ready with your notebooks. You're seated in a very, very comfortable place. I'm about to welcome my first two mastermind leaders to say hi to you guys before we welcome our main speaker. So with a round of applause, I want us to welcome a global ambassador in the company, a member of the Millionaire Circle, a mastermind leader and a brain behind the IC Group and the Bonan Vivon system. I want us to welcome a multiple trip qualifier, a car achiever, and I want us to welcome success on stage. So with a round of applause, I want us to welcome Mr. Ronald Lagat. So from wherever you are, Mr. Ronald Lagat, you're welcome. I want to see a lot of fire emojis on the chat box from Mr. Ronald Lagat. I want to see a lot of fire emojis for Ambassador Ronald Lagat on the chat box. Let us welcome Ambassador Ronald on the chat box. Let us do that. So wherever you are, Ambassador Ronald, the stage is yours. Come and give us some fire before we begin. Dr. Ronald Lagat, Ambassador Dr. Ronald Lagat, that was powerful insights from you, sir. We really appreciate having your presence here, but it will be so bad if I really don't introduce another presence of another mastermind who is here in the meeting with us. That is none other than Ambassador Joseph Mudonjia. This guy is a global ambassador in the company. This guy is a Millionaire Circle member. Imagine before I finished high school, this guy was already a member of the Millionaire Circle before even I joined the business. You can imagine that, guys. So I'm welcoming Success on stage, and we call him the son of Jim Rohn. So from wherever you are, Ambassador Joseph Maina, really the stage your presence being here. And we don't want to, personally, I've been waiting for this from 8:30, and I want to welcome an amazing gentleman, guys. The person who I'm about to welcome, guys, I don't know how many titles I can give him, but this person is a master in making the road to riches very simple. He dispels all the myths and makes million secrets accessible to every person. He's an extraordinary trainer. His experimental techniques are transformational, and he creates amazing results every time he speaks. He will give you a blueprint and show you the tools to build your house of wealth. From inside out, it will stand out, and it will stand out the test of time in every circumstances. So the person I'm about to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, He's a person who is experienced in creating, not only becoming a millionaire, but creating other multi-millionaires in his mentorship. He has done that multiple times, so many times, that he cannot doubt, that we even don't doubt, that he can do it 1 more time, 3 more times, 10 more times, and a million other times. This person is a global ambassador in rank with a company. He's a multi-millionaire monthly. You understand what I'm talking about? He is the president of Bonan Vivon Luxury and the gentleman who is behind the vision of IC Group. This gentleman has all the success and all the lifestyle and all the kind of things that we all admire to have. Today is going to be an amazing night for you because he's here with us. And ladies and gentlemen, with a lot of fire emojis, with a lot of everything that you can type on the chat box, let's make this room as warm as possible for Ambassador Engineer Moses Adika. I want us to do that in the chat box. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, Ambassador, from wherever you are, the stage is well set and it's yours. Take it over from me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Silole, for the warm welcome and, of course, for accepting to host us in this meeting. I don't know if I can be heard loud and clear.
You are loud and clear, and we can see you very clearly.
All right. Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas from where I can see a few faces. Wengine mmejificha. I can see Theophilus. I can see Mr. Silole, of course. I can see Sylvia Cherotich. I can see Edna. I can see all the way from South Sudan. We have Sam James there. I can see Diana. So welcome. Welcome, all of you. I can Pony in South Sudan as well. Carlton, Kamau, I can see Mangeti. All right, thank you so much and welcome to this session. So first of all is to appreciate each and every one of us in this session. And of course, even those who are not here, I understand some have a challenge getting in. Our Facebook Live and Zoom have had a challenge connecting, but we shall proceed. And I think the meeting is being recorded. It will be shared in a short while. So first of all is to thank everyone for the year that has been. We have done much. We have given it our best shot. And so far, I can say so good. The Lord has been with us. And we have done amazing. Joseph, can you allow me to share my screen?
Yes, sir. Let me do that right now.
Okay. I think it's okay. It has allowed me. All right. So let me share the screen as I prepare to start. Okay. So I was saying we appreciate each and every one of you who have been very instrumental in our success this year. This year has been a year of lessons, as Joseph has mentioned. It has also been a year that many of us, we have actually gotten some breakthrough, and that is how life is. You know, at every particular time, there is someone who is growing, and there's also someone who is learning. So it is up to you to know which side of the coin probably you fall in. And from the beginning of the year, you know, we've really put in the best because I remember this is the year that as well we had some price, you know, adjustment from our partner company, Alliance in Motion. This is the same year that, you know, we also experienced transition in our business from the previous management to this one. Yet, you know, our business has not been affected much. I've still seen guys who have hit huge ranks. You know, I've seen guys who have bought cars. I've seen better offices being opened this year than even the other years. You know, I've seen people go on trips. I've seen people make money. So for those of us who won, we really want to say congratulations, keep it up. Let next year be even bigger than what we guys did this year. Then, of course, those of us who may have not gotten some of these things I mentioned, as we have said, there are lessons to learn. There are lessons to learn. And each and every one of us, I believe, we have picked certain nuggets of wisdom from this year. And the reason why you had to go through those lessons is so that you can make the following year even better. So don't get into a corner, start crying, oh, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. It is okay. In fact, it is now in our past. We look forward. So before I go straight into my training, I want to give you guys a story. I want to start by sharing a story of a gentleman who has been very successful in network marketing. And this gentleman, he says that in the year 2018, when they ranked everyone, he was actually ranked in his company the 5th among everyone. And everyone celebrated him because he actually came from a very humble beginning. Getting to that position, having made quite some money, he had bought himself a very beautiful SUV. He had done 1, 2, 3 things in his career. But the moment he went back, and sat down in his office alone, he actually realized that even though people were celebrating him, even though people were so happy for him during the event that the company had, himself, he had only achieved like 10% of the targets he had set for that year. And because of that, he was not really that happy. He was not as excited. Just a moment. Let me remove my WhatsApp. I think it is making some noise. Just a minute, 1 minute. 1 minute. As I do this, we can type 111 in the chat box so that I know that you guys are still following and are with me. If you can hear me loud and clear, just type for me 111. Let me know if I can still be heard. I'm still with you. You are following. I think we are good to go. Let me share my screen again. All right, so when the gentleman sat down in his room or in his office, he realized that although people were celebrating him, although people were so happy for him, he had not even achieved more than 10%, of the targets that he had set for himself. And he decided to do an analysis. He decided to do something that we call an autopsy. Have you heard that word before? When somebody dies and they don't know what has caused the death, they have to check, They have to investigate what actually made what actually made this guy to pass on. And they have to ascertain that because in future they'll use that information to make decisions. So the guy sat down, he did an autopsy for his business, and he came to realize some of the areas that he had lacked that year. And he says for the new year, he went ahead, corrected some of those things. And since that year, that was 2019, he has been achieving his goals 100%, actually more than 100%. So from that story, I believe there are a few lessons here and there that we can take. Number one, before we move on into 2025, we cannot go into a new year without, looking at the last 1 year and probably getting to know what are some of the areas we did very well, what are some of the areas we lacked in, and what can we do to actually make our business better. And as you do this autopsy, guys, listen and listen well. As you do this autopsy to your business, I don't want you to put any blame on anyone, not your upline, not the economy, not the company, not your cross lines. I want you to put that blame squarely on yourself, because what probably you didn't do, you can really correct. Of course, there are those external factors, but I don't want to give the, I don't want us to give them a lot of power. I want us to take all the power and, you know, put it to ourselves. Because if you listen to the Secrets to Seven Figures by Matt Morris, I think the seventh one is taking responsibility, full responsibility, so that when we go into the new year, we guys can easily change, you know, some of these areas that we can easily correct. And the 5 important questions that I personally came up with that we need to ask ourselves at this time of the year. Number 1 is, what did I want in 2024? Let's start with 2024 because it is already behind us, and it is the recent year that, you know, we guys have probably done something. So what did you want? What are those things that you told yourself boldly when we began the year that I'm going to achieve them this year? The second question I want you guys to ask yourselves is, where are you right now? Where are you right now? Yes, you wanted 1, 2, 3, but what percentage have you achieved? What have you done this year? Okay. Then the third question I want you to ask yourself is, why did I fail, or why did I succeed? Some of us failed, some of us succeeded. So you also have to gauge. If you succeeded, then of course, you also have some lessons to pick and build on. If you failed, you even have more lessons because you have so much to correct. So you have to determine these two. Then of course, one of the very most important questions is, where am I going? As I said, the past is in the past. The future is still ahead of us. It is what we really should focus on the most. And that is now the vision for the next 1 year. What is it that you want to achieve this coming 2025? Yes, the vision of BSc is going to be shared. Sadrach, this guy called Sadrach, can you stop writing on the screen kindly? I don't know if we can prevent that on the settings.
No, sir.
All right. All right. Help me on that area. But let's avoid writing on the screen, guys. I think he may have done it by mistake. So what is the vision that you have for yourself, you know, this coming 2025? What are those areas that you want to focus on as a person, a team, you know? In as much as we are BSc, we also have these other groups that you guys lead. So you must be very clear on where do you want to go. And the last question, but not the least, the last but not the least question, I think the second last is, what should you do to get there? This is not the last. Where am I going and what should I do? Don't just leave it at, you know, having the vision. You probably want to get to Gold Executive. What are the steps, you know? We only have 12 months. If you guys have realized it is such a short time, if you don't plan yourself well, you will be surprised you are already in another December. So what should you do to get those goals? Write it down very clearly. You want to buy your first car, you know, what is it that you're supposed to do? You want to travel the world, what is it you're supposed to do? You want to build your first house, you know, you want to support your family members, whatever it is that you want, we must have clear steps that we can be able to probably achieve even every week, so that we finally arrive at the bigger goals, you know, that we guys are having. Now, the last but not the least question is, why am I going there? Why am I going there? What is the reason why you want all these goals that you guys are mentioning? And, you know, they say that when the why is very clear, the how becomes quite simple. When you know exactly why you want something, getting there is not going to be an issue. And the picture you guys can see on the screen, This is a picture of Dubai. Today, many of us, we want to travel to Dubai to go and see the city itself. The architecture that is there is great. It is the #1 tourist, destination in the whole world today. But what is the story of Dubai? In the year 1991, Dubai was looking like the picture that you guys can see on the top. By the year 2020, it had already transformed into this. And the only reason why, the only way that you could transform a desert into such kind of, a city that everyone would love to come to is a very powerful reason. And the people who are behind this, the rulers of Dubai, they had a very clear reason. And the reason is very simple, guys. In 1960, around there, these guys discovered oil underground. And they knew very well that this oil is not so much. One day it will come to an end. The drilling and all that, it will stop one day. So they told themselves that by the time the oil is probably drained from the mines underground, we should have already built such kind of an environment that can sustain itself in terms of trade. And that is why Dubai today is the #1 place where many companies think of when they want to set up their headquarters. And because of that trade, the city will keep on thriving and thriving and thriving even after the oil is gone. So the reason that was behind this idea is what actually made these guys to do all that they have done. They've built some of the tallest buildings on sand. They've done some of the things that people thought could not be done, reclaiming the sea to build the Palm Island that is also attracting so many people. So the why that we are going to have, guys, the why that is going to be there behind the vision that a majority of us are going to come up with, it's going to be the key. If you can determine the reason why you are doing something, you won't have trouble probably doing the work required to get you to where you want to go. And as an organization, the Beyond Survival campaign, we have a very clear vision that we stated, that we came up with last year when we redefined our entire system. And just to know if you guys are still with me, please type for me, what is the vision of BSC? If you guys are really part of us, what is the vision of the BSC? Please type it for me on the chat box. Let me see if you guys are true members of this organization. What is the, no. Emmanuel is writing the question as I've stated. I want you to type, what is the vision of the BSC? Impacting more lives, impacting 1 million lives by 2030, impacting 1 million lives by 2025, to become a leader, great leaders. Mr. Silone, you can see. Someone is saying car achievers. All right, so good trial, everyone. That's good trial. Now, the vision of the organization is very simple. By the year 2030, we want to impact 1 million lives positively through the systems that we have created. And this is the core thing that should be driving each and every member that we have. In as much as we came into the business to make some money for ourselves, I know the first day your motivation was not this. But for us to get to achieve those big things, we must think beyond ourselves, because I truly believe that God could have not given us this brilliant idea just so that we buy cars. I don't know if you are following. God could have not given us this brilliant idea just so that we pay our rent, we eat good food, buy those good clothes, take ourselves on holiday. That is so simple. that is something that we could have done, even as teachers. That is something we could have done, even as engineers outside there. That is something we would have done in our, normal professions, whatever we studied in school. But the reason why this brilliant idea was, put into us is so that we can go ahead and, help other people. We can go ahead and give someone who had already lost hope, the hope that, they can also live a better life tomorrow, that they can also access probably good health care, that they can also become millionaires one day, that they can also get access to clean water and all this. So it's not only about what we are getting, it is all about what can we give to the world. And they say financially free, so that you don't feel a pinch giving $1 million shillings to go and probably build a dispensary where you came from. You must be financially free, first of all, for you to give freely, for you to support other people. And probably 2025 is a year that, we guys are going to be very intentional on our welfare as an organization, because 2030, is just, I think, 5-6 years from now. It's around the corner. And so the sooner we create financially free people, the earlier we are going to get to our vision, or the better we are going to get to it. And we must hit the vision 100%. We want to see people that, they push themselves, get to those limits, just so that they, can also realize this big vision that we had. And just to cement our vision, I'll share a story that comes from the Holy Book for the Christians. That is the story of the talents. And I decided to put the scripture because the exact things, because I understand some of us, we don't read these books. And it comes from Matthew 25:14-30. And I want you guys to listen or read with me. It says that for the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. So this guy calls his servants, he's about to go to a journey, and he decides to give them some tokens, some goods. It continues to say that, and to one he gave 5 talents, to another he gave 2, and to the last one he gave only 1. Why did he give these talents in this ratio? It continues to say, to each according to his own ability. So even if this guy who got 1 wanted 5, he would have not been given because he was not able. Angepewa. And immediately went on a journey. It continues to say, then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them. He went to do business. That is basically what it means. He went to do some trading with this money that he had received. And in turn made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more. So he also did business with whatever he was given, and he brought back 2 more. But he who had received 1 went and dug it in the ground and hid his Lord's money. So for him, he went underground, he kept it safely so that nothing can probably steal it, so that the animals cannot eat it. And he just wanted safety so that when the master comes, he gives it back, just as he was given. It continues on on verse 19, it says, after a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. He got back what he had given them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, take note of these words. These are very powerful words. Well done, good and faithful servant. Now I want you to listen on this other part that I'm about to get into. You are faithful over a few things. Therefore, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Listen to those words. Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. Therefore, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And guys, this is the key. You know, many of you want better things. You want a better house. But the question is, the little house that you have, the bed sitter you have today, how well are you taking care of it? Before the Lord probably can bless you with, you know, a bungalow or a mansionette or even a villa with a swimming pool. How well are you taking care of that little so that you are made a ruler over many? Probably today you only have one downline. You are alone. You only have 5, 10, 20. How well are you taking care of these, you know, few people in your organization so that, you know, the one who blesses people can say he is ready to receive even more. So there's a very big lesson that, you know, we guys can pick from this particular verse. And going into 2025, we would love to see people who are more responsible with their business. You know, the problem is that majority of us, we are still young. Probably you joined even because of reasons that you don't know. But that is why we have the vision of the entire team, so that those of us who don't know their direction, your work is just to follow. Ask yourself, what is my mastermind's directive? Follow. Because these guys, they are being guided by that vision. There is no single decision that we make, you know, just to benefit ourselves or even to benefit those guys that are around us. It is for the vision that, you know, probably God put into us a few years ago. Verse 22, it continues to say, he also who had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. Therefore, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Now, my focus is on this guy because this is the guy that represents majority of the people that I'm addressing in this room today. The one that went and hid, you know, whatever merchandise that he was given, whatever goods, whatever money, you can call it anything, whatever talent he was given. He went and kept it safe. Why? Because number one, this gentleman was very lazy. He never wanted to go to work. Number two, this gentleman was very selfish. He never wanted to benefit other people. Remember, anytime you are doing trade, you are building a country. You are going to provide jobs, you know. You are going to employ other people. So this guy, he decided to deny other people the opportunity to also benefit from whatever he had. And that is why when the master came, his judgment was the harshest. Let's go ahead and read, you know, what kind of judgment that this guy was given. It continues to say, then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. So he confesses himself. Number one, I want to note on verse 24 that his attitude, number one, was very wrong, you know. He had a very negative attitude of his master, who had actually entrusted him with so much. And even majority of us, we have very wanting attitudes towards, you know, our uplines, our cross lines, people that probably have done you no wrong. But because you have that bad attitude, there are things that you cannot easily ask from them. You know, there are things that you cannot easily get from them. Some of you even know that if I can just work with this guy, my success is going to be quicker. But then because you have a bad attitude, because you have branded, you know, someone negatively, you go ahead and, you know, make very poor and wrong decisions that are going to cost you at the end of the day. Number two, he had fear. He was afraid. Probably if he went to trade, he would have made the money as well. But because of that fear, he went and took a very wrong decision, and it costed him at the end of the day. Verse 26, but his Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Therefore take the talent from him and give it to the one who has 10 talents. So whatever little that he had was taken away, and it was given to the one that had the most. And I want you guys to take note of that. Probably the Lord would have taken from this guy and given to the one that had 2 and multiplied it to 4, but he gave it to the one with 10 at this point, because this guy now had even greater ability. And that is why if you are part of this organization, if you are part of this team, if you are a network marketer, let us not settle for, you know, average. Let us not settle for average. Let us go for the, you know, the maximum that we can get. If you can get to Diamond Global Ambassador, let's go for it. If you can go for that Global Ambassador, go for it. If you can become top 1, why settle for top 50? We need to challenge ourselves. And the moment you challenge yourself, your ability will also grow, you know, as you strive to get there. And because of that ability, God is going to bless you even in bigger ways. For to everyone who has, that is now the part, more will be given unto them. And he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. And that is why I will also go against those of us who are very needy, you know. They are very needy in this business. They can't even spare money to do their PMA. They can't even spare some money every single month just to add an account. You know, they can't spare some money to pay for their offices. They can't spare some money to go on expansion, to grow their business. They cannot spare money to promote their business online or even do posters, do flyers, you know. Some of the things that we have already proven to work. The little that you guys have will be taken and it will be given to those who are willing to do some of these things. Now his judgment comes at this point, and cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, this is a description of hell, by the way. Huyu jamaa alitumwa hell. And this hell might not be the description that we guys were given, where we're burning in fire. But those of us who are not willing to do the right thing, you know, in the business, your life is going to be that hell. Your life is going to be that hell. You are going to have trouble with your landlord. You are going to queue in the matatu lines being rained on. Your children will be sent home for school fee. They'll even stay for terms, you know, without probably accessing that good education they should have gotten. And this is a place that I may not want any of us to be in. So if you're part of this organization, I want us to remember the vision. The vision of the organization to impact 1 million lives positively by the year 2030. But we have said for you to impact, you yourself must be impacted first. You must first of all be financially free so that you don't feel, grudgingness within your heart, to give, to go and help, to go and support others that are probably in need of that support from you. And to summarize those lessons very quickly, number one, God encourages us to do business. Can we type the word business on the chat box? Business. And we are already part of the organization. We are already part of the business. But majority of us are still doing this part-time. And in this meeting, I want to mention it as plain as it is. As plain as it is. Those of you who are still doing the business part-time, it is time that you made a decision to take your business full-time. It is time you made a decision to take your business full-time. Because even in these holy books, it is written again and again that it is better to do business than to probably slave for someone, because the slave is always a servant, to the master. The slave is always a servant to the master. So you guys already have a huge chance. You can be the next Moses Adika. You can be the next Joseph Silole. You can be the next Kevin Nyamai. And all the other big success stories that we have in the business. So why don't you make that bold decision and go full-time, work on your business and reap something? Because you guys are behaving, those of us who are still afraid, to take those bold decisions, you are like that servant who has, buried whatever he was given underground, because he doesn't want to mess. He wants to play safe. But at the end of the day, those who play safe, they don't get the best. Number two, you can only be blessed according to the ability that you have. You can only be blessed according to the ability that you have. And that is why personal growth is going to be very key come next year. And most of the times, the growth that many of you need is not going to come for free. You guys are going to be required to pay for some of them. You guys are going to be required to get tickets to attend some of them. What makes me probably laugh is when we get these posters like these are comedians, gani. People are willing to pay 2,000. But when it comes to personal growth, let's say Robert Kiyosaki is in town, people are not willing to pay for some of these things. And we have to understand that the blessings that we are going to get is going to be proportionate to the ability that we are going to have. So make sure that next year you are growing your capacity. I'm going to mention what we, the masterminds, have come up with to help you grow, but also it won't come for free. It won't come for free. Some of them will require you to qualify. Some of them will require you to travel. Some of them will require you to buy tickets, Some of them will require you to dig very deep into your pockets just to access them. So be ready to go for those things. Then, of course, you have to pass the test of faithfulness if you want more blessings. I've already mentioned this. If today you have 5 downlines and they have all quit, how do you expect God to add you 5 more so that they also quit? It is not possible. So we just have to do better. The little that you have, we want to see people striving. We want to see people giving their best. We want to see people taking, this business as their own. And of course, our blessings will be even bigger. Then I also mentioned poor attitude will always cost you. Try to have, a better attitude towards your downlines. Have a better attitude towards your cross lines, the people you work with. Have a better attitude towards your uplines, because they are your connection to the success, of course. Have a better attitude towards the company, the programs that we have. Have a better attitude towards even the business generally, network marketing, and everything about life. Attitude can solve most of the problems that many of us go through. Of course, fear will cost you. You've seen what it has done to that guy. Then we also have to reinvest in our business. Trade, guys. We want to see guys going for those accounts. We want to see guys doing their PMA on time, double, triple, not just one PMA. Even double will be better. Triple will be even much better, because you'll be having a higher earning power. At the end of the day, the profit is going to be much bigger. I remember when we were doing the mentorship and I was training about the ranks, I told you guys, personally, I've done triple PMA, here 15K, from the time I became silver executive up to now. So I did the calculation, and we calculated if I failed to do that triple PMA, how much money I would have lost, and it was in millions. And I'm very sure God was very impressed that I made that decision, to invest in that area of my business. So we have to know, where does our business require us to do what? Put in more money, because when you do some of these things, it definitely reflects in the profit side. Then your laziness is denying a lot of people. Your laziness is denying a lot of people the chance for a better life. If some of you would be millionaires today, there are a lot of guys around you who would be having a better lifestyle. If some of you are millionaires today, there is someone who probably would have eaten better this Christmas, because you would have given to them. If some of you are millionaires today, some people would go to school courtesy of you. So the laziness you are displaying, it is costing a lot of people outside there. And the one who gave you the chance to be part of our business is not happy about it. Okay? Certain blessings, Peter Kimathi is writing on the screen. Please stop. Certain blessings can only come to the responsible. Therefore, be accountable. Be accountable. I've also noticed a lot of us, we don't like responsibility. If someone is going to check on you, if someone is going to hold you accountable, you try to run away. But you have to know that certain blessings can only come to those who are responsible. That is why, before you vie to become a president, they must first confirm if you have a wife. Do you know why? Because if you are responsible at home, then you can easily take care of us as a country. But if you cannot take care of home, then definitely the country is going to be a tall order for you. So we have to be responsible. We have to be accountable. And at every level, there is someone you could be accountable to. Let's strive this year to be more accountable, so that we realize, those blessings that we are supposed to get. Again, there are eagles everywhere. But if you do not have the capacity to handle them, they are not going to come to you. Some of you want crazy leaders. I hear people mentioning, I want to join that team. I wish I had leaders like so and so. If you had those leaders, they would have quit by now. You have to increase your capacity to handle them. And the only way to get there is through personal growth or personal development. And we have very structured systems to help us, access those. Now, next year, 2025, we have said our theme is very simple, and it has been coined in two. Number one is infinity. Please type for me the word infinity in the chat box. What could this mean? When we say infinity, what do we mean? What do we mean, infinity? when you are doing maths and ufike pahali uandike infinity, it means it has no end. It is close to, is it gazillion? I don't know. Many zeros. What do we call many zeros? Those who went to group of schools. Yetu walifikia tu hapo kwa infinity. Okay, recurring, I can see, cannot be measured, infinity, no end, good, endless. All right, so I think you guys are right. Kitu haishi, it's forever, it's eternal, good. Continuous, we are very sharp leaders here. So that is indeed the meaning of infinity. And infinity is synonymous to the word limitless. And the two of them together, we can say, simply means without end. It does not end. Without limits. There is no limit to it. And also we can say without boundary. Without boundary. And when we said infinity 2025, we simply meant in our minds, guys, we need to start thinking of breaking certain barriers. We need to start thinking of doing things that majority of people think cannot be done, but we want to prove them wrong and show them that these things can be done. These things, they are not limited to us. In our eyes, there is no limit to some of these things. And for us to actually get to this point, there are a few things that I want us to understand first of all, because earlier on I said attitude can change many things in your life. And the first thing I want us to understand is that everyone, underline the word everyone, has the capability to become successful. It does not matter whether you left at class 8, Form 4, university, you are a doctor, professor, everyone has the capacity or the capability to become successful. And our company is a very good example. You see, most of the success stories in the Philippines, where the company has been 18 years, I see people who don't even know English at all. They don't know completely, but they used their local language, and today they are very successful. We've seen people that joined at 60, 65, at 70, they are doing very well. So age is not a barrier. Probably educational levels is not a barrier. Whatever you've done before is not a barrier. But for us to be successful, it is about rising above those who tell us that we can't. And sometimes that person is ourselves. That is the hardest part of it. That for you to be successful, you have to rise above those people who are going to tell you it is not possible. But the tricky part is that sometimes the person who will tell you you can't do it is not someone from outside. It is yourself. It is yourself who is going to discourage you. So we really have to work on this. Some of us will call it attitude. Some of us will call it belief. Whatever you call it, you have to overcome. And as we get into a new year, I want us to get in with a mindset that this time round we are getting it. We are getting it. If you have wanted to do something, you've wanted to attain something, I want us to go into this year with that mindset that it is happening. And, preparation can easily help us with this because they say faith comes from hearing. So the moment you've already convinced yourself, the moment you've already had your leaders, affirming that indeed this year it is infinity. Indeed this year it is limitlessness. We are going for this, we are going for that, we are going for this. The moment you attract that belief, the moment you are convinced 100%, not with any doubt, then some of these things will start to come. And I remember very well, back then when we were just starting the business, when I'm still a student, I can't even afford the ticket to attend an event, and my leader calls. He tells me, Moses, I have a ticket for you. Are you coming or not? I was actually in class, so I excused myself to go to the washroom to probably receive the call. It could have been a sign up, so singe dhubutu kukosa call ya upline. So once Andrew told me that my ticket was with him, I decided to go. The event was at Pride Inn in Westlands. And I go, I attend this event. And at the end of the day, the experience that I had, the people that I saw climbing the stage to receive the awards, the testimonies that I had, it changed something in me. And by the time the event was over, I had believed 100% that if so-and-so had done it, there was a particular guy who had made 700K in 4 months. I told myself, even me, I can do it. In fact, I can do better than this guy. And all of a sudden, the following day, I found myself waking up, you know, something that I was not doing. I woke up at 5 a.m. just because, you know, I developed a new kind of belief within me, and I was willing to do whatever it takes, you know, to get those results. We did the work day in, day out, day in, day out, every day of the week, Monday to Sunday, Monday to Sunday. By the time 1 year was over, I was ranked top 3 in the whole company. The person who had inspired me to be top 3 or to do what I had done, it was actually ranked number 8. And that is why I strongly believe that, you know, the moment you are convinced, the moment you are willing to do whatever it takes, you can easily get, you know, whatever you want. So everyone is capable of becoming successful. Everyone is capable of being great. But you first of all have to rise above the people who tell you that you cannot do it, whether it is from outside or from yourself, because those negativities will be there. Those obstacles will be there. Even if we agree to do certain things, tomorrow something will come up. Be it the government, be it the economy, be it probably from the company side, be it from your upline, something will come up. But you must get to a point where those things in totality, they cannot affect your thinking. We must always remember who we are. We must always maintain that belief. And whatever the situation you go through, you must always think not at that point, but where you are going to be, the truth of where you are going to be. And that is why each and every one of us, as we get into this new year, we must develop the ability to see and feel beyond our senses. Let me explain this statement. That time when your prospect, who probably was about to sign up, he decides to write you a long message, you know, telling you about how the business is a scam. And before you know it, they have blocked you. You know, definitely you are going to feel disappointed. You are going to feel betrayed. In fact, some of us will even question, what if this guy is right? He seems to be making sense. But at that point, you have to develop the ability to see and feel beyond your senses. Of course, your senses are going to tell you something else. But for you to achieve this big success, you have to operate beyond, you know, what your senses can feel at that point. You could be having people that have quit your business. Maybe you had a team of 100, 50. Now you are left with 4, 6, 8. If you do not develop that ability to see and feel beyond your senses what you can see, then definitely the success is not going to come. So this is one thing that I really want us to work on. Some people will call it positivity. Some people will call it good attitude. For me, I'm going to call it faith. Can we type the word faith, guys? Type for me the word faith. Faith. Now, faith, according to the definition that is given probably in the scriptures, type for me the word faith on the chat box. All right. Now, faith, according to the definition that is given in the scriptures, is the substance of things hoped for. You must have this for you to actually get to succeed in anything, because the reality is along the way, you will meet challenges as I've shown you. You will get other ideas, you will experience crisis, you will experience bad weather, taxes, competition. Some of you may fall sick along the way. But when we talk about faith or developing that ability to see and feel beyond our senses, that faith is the substance, for those who are writing, of things hoped for. The substance of things hoped for. That means you need to start seeing those things that you are hoping to get. The substance is kitu yenyewe. So you start seeing it, you start feeling as if you have it, and it continues to say that it is the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The evidence of things not seen. So it does not matter the situation that you are going through currently. It does not matter how many downlines you are having currently. It does not matter the income. I want us to, come up with the things that we hope to get out of our business. I want us to come up with a list of things that, God is showing us through our vision, our mind, that you can get that, you can get that, you can get that, you can impact this number of people. And the moment you start seeing the substance of it, the moment you start seeing the evidence of those things, then you'll be getting closer to, actually realizing those things that you want. And the scriptures also mention that without faith, it is actually impossible to please God. So before you are blessed, this is one of the things God will look at. Yes, you want this thing. He'll try you. He'll probably have your downlines quit first of all. Just to test, do you really believe that you can get all these things? So that faith is going to be tested many times. And some of you this year, it has been test after test after test. But the good thing is that a new year is starting. I want you to develop fresh, new faith. I want you to develop stronger faith that next year, it is striking, it is happening. It is happening. And this gentleman called Matthew Barnett, he once said that the urge to quit is strongest just before breakthroughs occur. Those are the times when it's most important to stay focused and committed. You will encounter the urge to quit many times. Get over it. Quitting is not an option. Always be prepared to give it one more day. Just one more day. In fact, some of you came to this meeting and in your minds, you just came to see what are they saying, what are they planning again. They have been planning many things. What are they planning this time round? And the truth of the matter, guys, is that even me, I've felt like quitting at one point in my business. Even the top earners in the $1 million earners, they have felt this urge to quit. And they say it is strongest when you are about to break through. When you are about to do something big, the devil is always aware. That is the funny part. He is aware, the same way that he was aware that Job was one of the most faithful people in the whole earth. Therefore, he suggested to God that, can we test him? Can we try him this time round? So he's also aware that you are about to do something big. He's also aware that we as an organization, we are moving in the right direction. And some of us, we are going to be swayed. Some of us, good opportunities are coming this January, They want to remove you from the business to take you to another job to pay you maybe 30K. And probably you had made a decision to go full-time. Don't make that mistake of giving up on yourself. Don't make that mistake. Because many people that have quit the business, they quit when they were very close to becoming great. Very close to becoming great. If the upline of Silole here and Mr. Colin Sowaga knew that these two gentlemen would get where they are, he would have not quit. But we don't get that chance to see, what is probably going to happen in the future. And that is one thing that God denied us. But if that guy knew, he would have not attempted. And many of you are also not aware, because right now, God has not shown you what probably is happening in June, August, or even December. And for that reason, that is why he wants you to have that faith. For that reason, that is why he wants you to have that belief within you that these things can happen. Yes, they are not happening now, but you need to feel and see yourself already there, even though you are not yet at that point as we speak. That is what we call faith. And we must also remember the power of one more. That the day that you feel like giving up, try to give it just one more day, one more week, one more month, one more year. Probably it is 2025. Just before you give up on yourself or give up on your prospecting, I want you to go for that one more prospect. Do that one more training. Do that one more closing. You never know what is about to happen. So anytime you feel like giving up, let's try to push ourselves, a little bit more. And last but not least on that, don't make permanent decisions over temporary circumstances. Some of the problems you go through now, by next week, they won't be there. So don't make a decision to give up today, yet we don't know what is happening next week. Don't make a wrong move today, yet you don't know what happens next month. So as we go into the new year, we must, come in with new energy, renewed energy, energy that has never been seen before. We need to have that excitement because a new year is just a new chance that each and every one of us is getting. And as Joyce Meyer says, sometimes when you are closest to your breakthrough, the pressure is the greatest. You have come too far to give up now. You have come too far to give up now. Let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on grinding. Now, before I close on that chapter, in life there are facts and there are truths. What is the difference between the two? Let's start with, okay, you can type, just type what you think, facts and truth. Which one is truer than the other? If I may use that word. Facts and truth, facts and truth. What is the difference between these two? If I say that is a fact, that is true, what is the difference? Facts you can't change. Someone has tried. Wengine wamejaribu lakini wamekwama pahali wakaamua tu kuitype, okay? Facts are more reliable. Truth can be altered, okay? Let's continue. Another person. Facts do not change while truth varies. Fact, something that can be debated. Mwingine ameamua ni Kiswahili, hoja na ukweli. Good. Now, before you make any move, guys, before you probably say that this business is not for you, before you say that for you, you are not meant for network marketing, you first of all need to understand the facts in your life. And then to make it easier is this slide here, where I've summarized this. These are just some areas of life that we all know. The moment you are sick and the doctor has already treated you, it may take you even 3 days to recover. So you'll still be feeling pain. So the fact that you are feeling pain does not mean that you are not healing. It is true that you are healing, but the pain is still there. I don't know if now it is getting clearer. So the pain is a fact, but the truth is that you are healing. All right? Another one. Let's take discouragement, for instance. When you go through certain things in life, of course, you'll be discouraged. I just gave an example earlier on. Your prospect who was to do 31 accounts, he blocks you with very harsh words. You'll be discouraged, definitely. But the fact that this guy has blocked you, is not joining anymore, does not mean there is no hope for you. You can go ahead, prospect tomorrow, get another one who joins with the same 15 accounts. I believe now it is getting clearer. So first of all, before you make any decision, you must know whether you are making the decision based on a fact or a truth. And there is a world of difference between truths and facts. Facts can obscure the truth. Facts can obscure the truth. So make sure that before you make any move, before you probably cancel yourself out of the equation of success in our business, make sure that you know the truth about yourself. So this is a road, and on this road I can see cars. How many cars? Are they 3 or 4? What else can you see on the road? On this road, what else can you see on this road? Please type it. What can you see on the road? Someone is saying water. Someone is saying mirage. Someone is saying it's shiny. Road marks. Road marks, good. Cars. I said apart from cars. Yellow line. Now my interest was this shiny thing. Is it water or what is it? Leave alone the poles. This thing is shining. What is it? Is it water or mirage? Are you sure it is not water? So many people are saying mirage, some are saying water, some are saying false lakes. Now that is how some situations are going to look. Sometimes you look forward and you will tell yourself that in this business, I'm not making it. If I can't speak English like so and so, if I'm shy, I'm not bold like this guy. If maybe I didn't have many friends like so and so, then I'm not making it. Those decisions you are making are a mirage. The reality is there is no water there. The entire place is tarmac. It is a road. So don't make certain decisions, rashly. You have to sit down and, think through. And the truth will always set you free. They said that. And even today, some of us, we are really complaining, upline, economy is bad, economy is down. The truth of the matter, guys, is money still flows. In fact, if you go to the rich neighborhoods, you'll wonder how people have money. Like they have more money than they have ever had. So the truth is that the money is there. You only need to get those guys with that money. I don't know if you are following me. Economy may look down, but the money is still flowing in this economy. And that is why we as the masterminds, we are very confident that 2025 it is. We are very confident that 2025, there is no other word that could have summarized that whole year other than infinity. Because we are going to get it all. Some of you will say, applying all my prospects are broke and negative. No, you have not talked to millions of people in this country. You've not talked even to the people who control the money. Keep talking. The fact is, some of us are not successful yet, but the truth is that if you decide, you are unstoppable. The truth is that all of us, we are capable. We can do it. It could be a fact that your upline is not even supportive enough. You are not getting enough support. But the truth is you can step up and take that position of that upline or even the role that they should be playing. So we want to see guys stepping up. We want to see guys stepping up, not telling us that my upline this, my upline that. We want you to be that upline. Because the truth is you can step up. The truth is you can perform even better than you expect them to have done. Now, people are going to discourage you, but the fact is you are very powerful. Whatever they say does not have any influence on what you can do. All the power lies with you. You are very powerful on your own. You may have been branded a loser where you come from, but the truth is you are a winner. You are a winner. You actually had won out of how many billions of spams. All of you here were winners on that day. So you can still win even today. You can still win even this 2025. The fact is some people gave up on their businesses, but the truth is the business wasn't the problem. These people were. So before we make any decision, before we write ourselves off, to make decisions based on truth. And guys, the truth is God has not given us a spirit of fear. If you're having fear, on what you can do, then probably it could be coming from the devil. God only gave us power, love, and sound mind. Sound mind, so that you make proper decisions at the right time. And you should be guided by this. Anytime you feel fear, talk to people who are doing better than you. There's still so much that we can do. So what do you believe that you can achieve in 2025? That is the question that I have for you. What do you believe you can achieve this coming 2025? Do you have that list ready? Have you written them down properly? Have you shared them with some of your accountability partners? Are they ready to work with you to help you get where you want to go? Now, belief is the most important thing in our business, as I've said before. And if we can get to a point where we are going to believe all those things that we want, then they will automatically happen to us. And as I was preparing this training, in 2025, we want to make this business simple. We want to simplify it back to the basics. And the first thing that we should all be thinking about is how do we get to the maximum? How do we maximize, the marketing plan? Remember, we are talking about infinity, we are talking about limitlessness. So how do we get to the maximum? What is the maximum allowable accounts today? 32. If you joined before July of 2024, you can have up to 32 accounts. I mean, if you joined after July 20th, you can go up to 32 accounts. But if you joined during our times, you can have up to 46 accounts. So let's maximize that area of our business. Number 2, the other area where we have a lot of money coming in from is the ranks. The ranks. In this room, most of us are distributors. About 200 of us have a rank. So we need to plan and go for this silver executive, gold executive. We want to see more global ambassadors. Personally, I'm going Ruby, there is no doubt, before I climb to Diamond finally the following year. So let's go for these ranks, guys. Let's make it intentional. And even for the 31 accounts, you have to be very intentional because you only get what you are up to. If you plan to get it, you'll get it. I'm quite sure 100%. The problem is that many of us, we don't even plan. And these are the areas within our business that once you hit, you're home and dry. The other area that I want us to work on is our numbers. You see, network marketing is a numbers game. Numbers game. And that is why those guys who do crazy income, they're all over. They're in every continent, every single continent. If you look on Business for Home, the person who is number 1, trust me, you'll find them in North America, South America. They have a team in Africa, they have a team in Europe, Asia. They're everywhere. So we want to start from somewhere. We as the Bonan Vivon project. And if you're in this room, challenge yourself, grow your numbers. Understand the numbers and grow your numbers so that you get to the level where you can actually make that money. Because some of the people you idolize, some of the people you admire, they have those numbers. And we look at your numbers are very low. But 2025 is a year that we have to go for them. So expansion is going to be very key. Online business operation is also going to be very key. Those 2 areas, expansion and online operation, is going to be very key because we have to cross borders without crossing borders. From your house, you have to be in Tanzania. From your house, you want to see you in South Africa. From your house, you have to reach Nigeria, UK, all these places. And I summarized it in a quote that some of us are familiar with. And the quote says, "Seek ye first the basics of network marketing, and everything else will be given unto you." Basically, what I'm saying is by focusing on these 3 areas, that car that you want is going to come. The house is going to come, but we must start from the basics. This business is one of the simplest things that I've seen. So if we can maximize our accounts, you and your downlines, achieve certain ranks, these things come with serious money. Grow your numbers to a certain level. And that level, I was told by my mentor, for you to unlock 1 million, just 1,000 people in a room. If you have a team of 1,000 doing their PMA, it is very easy to do it. So we need to grow our numbers to that level. We need to grow ourselves to be able to lead that kind of group, 1,000 plus, if you're in this room. So seek ye first the basics of network marketing. Everything else will be given unto you. I know some of us, we want the car more, we want to travel more, and sometimes I see people doing the wrong thing at the right time. When it is time for work, let us work, guys. But when we have said now it is time for enjoyment, let us go and enjoy. Because it is only by developing that discipline that we will get some of these basics. And our mode of operation this year is going to be very simple. We just want to focus on a few things, not many things, a few things. And the first one is showing the plan. Please type that for me. Pale kwa chat box. Show the plan. Show the plan. Onyesha watu. Onyesha watu. Show the plan. Please type for me that word. If a day passes by before you show the plan, you are losing. If a day passes by before you show two people, even if you are working, one in the morning, one in the evening, or one at lunchtime, one before you go home, you've already achieved that target of 2. You do it every day. In 30 days, you've talked to 60 people. Even if you're doing a dumb presentation, 2 to 4 might join you. 2 to 4 might join you. So we have to show the plan everywhere. We have to show the plan. We already have the tools. We already have everything that is needed. You have the slides. Just need to get yourself a nice gadget, be it a laptop or whatever. We have presentation kits. You can access them from any of the masterminds. We guys have been taught how to do Google Meets, Zoom, all these platforms. We are very good at them. You can do presentations in your homes, but by all means, every single day, make sure that you show the plan. Show the plan. Show the plan. Hiyo ndio nataka ikuwe moto yetu hii mwaka. Show the plan. And every time you show the plan, don't forget the most important thing. Close that sale. The problem with some of us is we show a lot of plans, but we don't close those sales. Get people to pay, because they'll only pay when you ask them to pay. They'll only make those payments when you ask them to pay. So close those sales. And once they get into the business, get them started right. Get them started right. Show them what to do. Teach them. Let them do as you watch. Then you let them continue doing it. You know, that is what we call duplication. Teach, show, tell, and let them do finally. TSTD. So take these guys through that system, and what you are telling them, or what you are teaching them or showing them is basically how to show the plan. That is what we are saying, that the focus should be there on the plan. Show the plan, close them, get them started right. Then show the plan, close them, get them started right. Then repeat that cycle until you get there. And every single month, depending on your ability, I would recommend for the part-timers in the room, if you're still working, you're doing the business, I'll highly advise, challenge yourself to do challenge 3 every single month. Recruit 2 new people and add 1 new verse that month, if you're a new member. Recruit 2 new people, add 1 new verse account of your own that month. By December, you will have maxed out the compensation plan. If you're a full-timer, recruit 4, challenge 5, add 1 new verse account. By December, you shall have maxed out. You'll have a moving team if you're getting these guys started right. And probably you will never be broke again in your life. And I would say consistency will always beat intensity. Consistency will always beat intensity. So let us be consistent. Every day do something. Every day show the plan. Every day show the plan. Every day show the plan. Not that on Monday you've done so much. Tuesday, Wednesday, you are resting. Friday, you do so much. No, let's be consistent so that we avoid the burnout. I believe you can see the graph where the burnout is and where the effort is. So if you probably overdo on certain days, your chances of burning out are higher than someone who is consistent. So let's go throughout the year, be very consistent. Then once these people get started in your team, we want you to leverage on the events. Please type the word events. Leverage on the events. The calendar is going to be shared on 4th, next week on Saturday, during our kickoff training. So once we share the calendar, I expect each and every one of you to buy a calendar as well in the bookshop and slot those things on your calendar so that you know, on this day we have these trainings, on this day we have this event. Let me pump all my downlines to go there. Let me have all my new people to go there. If you have people in other towns, during the key days of events, have them travel, let them come. In fact, they are more blessed. If you're in Eldoret or Mombasa, we have an event in Nairobi, that event will be more impactful to you than someone who comes from Kasarani. Because you have used your money, you will get the most value out of it. You'll be very keen, you'll be participating 100%. So let's leverage on the events. Once the calendar is out, let's take advantage. And at this point, I want to talk about the kickoff training. Majority of us, we are still dilly-dallying, yet the train had already left the station. As we speak, we already have about 250 people who have their tickets. We only have about 50 to 100 tickets left to sell for this event. And as you can see, the price is about to jump to $750 from Wednesday. So between today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, make sure that you get your tickets very quickly. It's a year that we are not going to pester anyone. It's a year that we are not pampering anyone. If you are willing to move, get into the train, let's move. Ukibaki nyuma, shauri ni yako. The rest of us, we are moving and moving and moving. And if you think probably you are the most important person in the world, you know, after the Pope, the train is going to leave you, other guys are going to join, and you'll be left behind. And you'll see guys buying huge machines. You'll see people building homes in 2025. And you'll say, I wish I was with them. So we are quite busy. We don't have that time, you know, to keep, you know, pushing here, pushing there. It is the willing. So if you know the value of events, if you know the value of starting the year on a high note, grab your ticket as soon as I'm done with this training. Let's meet on 4th. Let's get the train, you know, moving as we get into 2025. Then, of course, on 11th of January, 11 a.m., we are going to have our first BOM at 680 Hotel. And these BOMs will be running almost weekly. Once the calendar is out, you'll see the dates. Almost weekly. So every Saturday, hakuna kulala. Just a guest, just a guest, just a guest. Invite, invite, invite. The people you have shown the business throughout the week, let's meet them on Saturday. We help you close them even better. And encourage them to grab the mastermind mentorship slots. This will happen in Nairobi and Eldoret. The other expansion schedules will be shared. The towns we are looking to hit include the following. We will be in Thika massively. We will be in Mombasa massively. We will be in Nakuru. We will be in Embu. We are going to be in Nyeri. We are going to be in Kericho. And of course, Eldoret and Nairobi, where we have teams. And when I say Eldoret, there are those satellite towns. Nairobi the same, Mombasa the same, Nakuru might be itself, and Kericho there. So once you get to hear that so and so mastermind is out on expansion, invite. Jaza. Those posters will be running in the groups here and there. And if you have interest to expand in any of those towns I've mentioned, once we ask in the groups, make sure that you are part and parcel. The other area that we want to focus on is learning and growing. But this time round, we want you to initiate that learning and growth. We might not really focus on this, but we are going to provide tools. We are going to provide platforms for you guys to learn. We are going to provide platforms for you guys to grow. And when we say personal growth, it is, you know, a wide topic. You must grow your talents like speaking, like closing, you know, those are talents. Someone who can talk, knowledge, your skill level, your potential, motivation, strategy, goal setting, success. So we are going to have, number one, a lot of e-learning. Some of them you'll pay, some of them will be free, but grab those chances to learn. We are going to have workshops. We are going to have boot camps, you know. We are going to have team buildings. Now, some of these things, as I mentioned earlier, are going to require money. And in 2025, ladies and gentlemen, you have to use money to make money. You have to trade. You have to trade. And as a trader, what you focus on is the profit. You attend an event which costs 5,000, but this 5,000 goes ahead and makes you a millionaire. Have you made a profit or not? You have made a profit. We are going for probably a boot camp in Mombasa or in Watamu. You come there, you learn something, you take pictures, you grow yourself, you come back, you become a millionaire. Probably you use 20,000 shillings. Have you made profit or not? So as a trader, as a businessman, we want you to focus more on the profit. Then we are also going to be very keen on our working environment. We are a grown organization now. We have grown. So you have seen the caliber of offices that are being launched. You've seen the offices that are being opened. Your uplines are going to engage you to make your offices even better. Cooperate with them, support them, grow with them. Those are the people that God put around you to help you achieve and realize your goals. These are some of the probably examples of offices that you guys will be seeing in the next coming months. And whenever they are being opened, be there to work with your uplines. Then, of course, as I said, we also have to expand online. We have to expand online because sometimes the flight tickets, the visas might not be available to all of us. Therefore, we have come up with certain systems, you know, to help us grow this online thing. And in a short while, your uplines will be meeting you to share with you the strategy in depth on what we need to do. It may also require some money on your part. It may not. It will depend on whatever upline you have, but support, you know, grow with them. And that brings me to a very crucial topic that I want to talk about. It's called loyalty. Loyalty. Can we type the word loyalty? Loyalty. Chat box. Loyalty. Siwaoni keyboard ni kama imekataa. Good. I can see you guys are following. And as we are going to achieve these things, the loyalty level must be maximum. You see, when I joined the business, I was taught that so long as whatever the upline says is there to help you grow the business, the word was yes, upline. If it is supposed to help you grow, it was yes, upline. There was no, you know, doing things grudgingly, you are being pushed. And I think that is why we also grew very fast, because there is no single day that Francis Njoroge would come up with something that would not grow me. And if I felt we could do it better, I would have told him, you know. I just tell him, what if we add this and this and this? And if it makes sense, he says, that's the members of Bonan V1 project. We want to be closely knit. We want to work together. We want to work as a team. You know, individuals will always lose to teams. So whichever team you are part of, we want you to be very loyal to the uplines that are there. And those uplines are also going to be loyal to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, until they reach the mastermind. So whatever vision we have, we want it to trickle down to the last person in the team. And let us cooperate. We are here to make our lives better, then go and impact those million people outside there. So loyalty will be very important. And disloyalty, of course, the opposite is the reason why many of us, we don't do well. So in your office activity, guys, let's be very cooperative. In being accountable and tracking your business, let's be very cooperative. Your information ipande, because you'll also want your downlines or report kwako, you know, because that information will help you to know where to help them, know where your business is not doing well. So we must be very accountable in tracking and all that. I also want us to be very loyal when it comes to events. Once we release the posters, guys, let's flood those events, because events bring money. More meetings brings more money. So let's attend them massively, let's promote them massively. Then of course, in leadership as well, always respect authority. Authority comes from God. And there is nothing that God hates, such as rebellion. That word, rebellion. There's nothing that God hates like that. That is why David, when he had a chance, a golden chance, to kill this gentleman called Saul, he said, so long as he's the king, I will not kill him. Let me just cut a piece of his cloth to remind him that I had a chance. Because he's still the ruler, we all leaders, let us respect them. Let's respect authority and work together closely to get to the next level. Lastly, spending on your business. Office rent, you know, all these programs that we are running, pump money into your business, more is going to come. Then last but not least, our vision for the year is very simple. Number one, every single month, we are putting in 7,000 new people into the system. We are putting 7,000 new people into the system every single month. That is our first goal for 2025. Number two, in 2025, we are creating 200 most influential leaders in the industry here in Kenya, and each of them will be earning at least 200,000 Kenya shillings. 200 most influential leaders in network marketing in this country, each making at least 200,000 shillings. The question is, are you going to be part of them? If the answer is yes, let me see it on the chat box. We are creating over 200 most influential leaders in network marketing in this country, in East Africa, earning over 200,000 or $2,000 for those who are outside the country. The question is, are you part of them? Are you going to be part of them? Do you believe that you can unlock this? I can see a lot of yes, and we want to see those yeses in your paychecks come January. Next, we have agreed that this year we are creating over 100 millionaires new. We are not counting the 45 millionaires club members that we have already. These are new millionaires, fresh. Guys who probably have just made a little money. We want to help you, you know, cross the line. Again, this year we are creating over 50 car achievers. Over 50 car achievers in the team. Ladies and gentlemen, the fear is gone. We want to see guys going for those beautiful machines. You deserve to drive these cars. Who else should drive them in this country? Those Land Rovers, I'm seeing Jaguar here, Range Rover. I can see Maserati. I can see, this is what? A Rubicon, you know? Let's go for those cars. Whatever car you love, buy your car. It's all about your heart and fulfilling, you know, that dream and vision that you had. Then for our local trip, We are taking 100 people to this trip. We'll talk more about it on kickoff, the date, the place, how many and how. How are you going to be there? For the international trip, we are taking 40 people outside the country. We just did 18 for Dubai. We did 20 for South Africa. We are doing 40 for the international trip that is coming. I'm also not going to mention the location. We will mention it during the kickoff. And in summary, as I end, whatever I've said in the 1.5 hours that I've been speaking, number one, you need to realign your vision for 2025, the goals and the vision. You may have scribbled 1, 2, 3 things, but after this training, I want to see people dreaming bigger, because you are the car achievers we are talking about. You are the ones who are going to be in those international trips. You are the ones who are going to bring in the 7,000 people. So if the organization believes in you, if the organization has plans for you, why don't you say, out of the 7,000, mimi mniachie 600 kila mwezi. Mimi mniachie 40 people kila mwezi. Mimi mniachie watu 100 kila mwezi. So I want you guys to realign your vision for 2025 to the vision of the whole organization. Number two, I have said that we need to believe in ourselves 100%. We need to believe in that ability, because the truth is we are born winners. The truth is we have won. The truth is we are the best in network marketing in this country. So we deserve all these things, you know. We deserve to get everything that I've listed there. Number three, in summary, I've said we need to practice the business daily. Consistency will beat intensity every day, every other time in the long run. In the long run, consistency will always beat intensity, and we are in this business for the long term. We are not doing it 1 month, 2 months. We are doing it 15, 20 years. So consistency will always beat intensity. Number five, you need to focus on your personal growth. And personal growth this year is going to be majorly paid for. Let me say so. Because some of the boot camps will require money. The team buildings require money. The e-learning may require money on some instances, you know. So we need to be willing to cough out some money every single month. When you make 4-8, probably 600 bob is for this personal growth. So set aside some money so that when we announce, you don't start running here and there. Mara mom, nisaidie hii pesa, or nani, apply. No. You need to budget for your own personal growth. The next, I've said we need to leverage on our events across the year once they are announced, and use them to retain our team, to multiply our numbers, and even move faster. Then, of course, we need to strive to be among our elite members. To those who have, more shall be added unto them. We should be the ones who have. And the ones who have are the elites. Wale 200 nimeongelea pale juu. The 200 elites who are making over 200,000 monthly. That is where you guys need to strive to be. You forget about the small goals. Of course, they are stepping stones, but let your focus be on the big, you know, the big fish pale juu. Last but not least, as we end the year, let us fast, let us pray for the business, or do one of the two. And if you feel you are blessed enough, give something to the universe. It may be charity, it may be tithe. Just give something to the universe, and I know it is going to come back several times. Thank you so much. Mine is to wish you all a happy new year 2025. May that new year have all our dreams turn into a reality. Have a great one as we start the new year. Thank you so much. Back to you, Mr. Silole Joseph, the stallion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ambassador Engineer Moses Adika, for such a powerful and for such an amazing session that we have had. I've learned a lot, and I can tell you this for sure. For the entire session, I felt like you were talking to me. I felt like all those words were actually meant for me. I felt like what has been happening this year was nothing, and I'm about to be born again. I'm about to begin a new journey. I'm about to become a different person. I'm about to become that guy who does not give excuses, who goes out there and makes things happen regardless. If you felt the same way I felt during the entire of the session, I want you to go in the chat box and give me another ignition for 2025. Because I can tell you this for sure, for those who are going for crossover for 2025, for those who are going wherever you will go to welcome 2025 coming here, for me, mine has begun. This was a crossover that I was waiting to have. This was a party, this was the conference. These were the words I was looking for to go on and become big in the next coming year. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy and I'm very, very excited, and I'm so honored to be the host for this meeting today. I'm also very excited for you because you came here, you made a decision, you're going to stay till the end to learn as much as you can so that you can ignite your year 2025. May you have a limitless year 2025. May you have a prosperous year. May all your dreams come true, just like our president has wished that year to be. And I can tell you this for sure, if you're going to do everything he has said, because more than 60% of that session was all about do this, and do that. And if you put that in key points and go put it into action, very basic, very simple, to the point, I can guarantee you something. Your 2025 will be your moments of aha, will be your aha moments, will be the moments like, this is what I've been looking for. This is the income I've wanted. This is the car I've wanted to drive. This is the place I've wanted to live. These are the things I've wanted to achieve, because you went and you applied all that you learned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming to our end of year meeting and our end of year conference training and this end of year conference call. I'm hoping I will meet all of you at our kickoff training. I'm hoping I'll meet all of you safe, sound, and with a lot of energy in 2025. I'm hoping we are ready to begin our year stronger and we're ready to go on and become successful and go out there and show the world that we have a better way and we can do and we can achieve our dreams. Thank you so much to everybody. This meeting would not have happened without you. So what you're going to do is you're going to have an amazing year of 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. And I can't wait to see you in this new year, 2025. Thank you so much. Gracias, everybody. Vamos. See you guys.
You've got the business idea. Now, give it the right address.